Well, this testing. Okay. This is a public hearing for the conditional use for an Aldermen communications tower, 199 feet communications tower, to be located at 185 North Lay. The reason it is a conditional use is because a wireless communications tower is a required conditional use in a C2 zoning, and that's why they're here for us today. And so, is there anyone in the public that wishes to speak about this?
2 pages.
Go ahead.
Thank you. My name is Susan Stewart. I work for Selected Solutions.
Can you move the microphone down a little bit
Is
there?
that better?
Yeah.
Okay. I work for Selected Solutions LLC. We are a site acquisition firm that has been hired by Ameren in order to help build this network. Now I'm going to ask for a little bit of patience. My boss normally does this part of it. I don't normally do the public speaking. He is at home sick with the flu, influenza A, apparently extremely contagious. So I get to do this tonight. All right. I do have a few packets of information. I know a few of you have seen these before, but I would like to pass them out. Structural. Ameren has received federal funding in order for them to build their own private LTE network. At this time, Ameren is currently leasing network space from third-party providers such as AT&T and Verizon. This will allow them to bring it all in-house and be monitored and owned by Ameren. This network is to be used to monitor their substations as well as all the power poles and allow their employees to communicate with each other, especially during emergencies. A requirement of this funding is that Ameren is to utilize their existing properties, and they have to build the towers that are required for the network. The property is located at 185 North Clair. It is currently being used as a substation already. It is zoned C2 General Commercial. The surrounding properties are also zoned commercial. Ameren's RF engineers have dictated that the tower height of 199 feet so that it will work within the network that they have created. This tower will support the monitoring devices here in St. Clair as well as the surrounding areas, and it has to reach out to the towers that will be located in Catawissa, Gerald, and Berger are just the 4 that will be in Franklin County, as well as Jefferson and St. Louis. Excuse me. This tower is being kept under 200 feet in order of hoping to avoid any FAA lighting. We did file for FAA approval back in July. Normally takes 45 days. We are still waiting on that FAA no hazard letter. We are fairly confident we will not have to require lighting because we are under 200 feet and we are not within 5 miles of an airport. The location of this facility on the property has been pushed to the southern edge. The existing substation sits in the middle of the property, and it does have overhead lines that run from east and west. And then we had to push it to the south because Ameren does want to keep it open for the future expansion of the substation that would be needed as St. Clair continues to grow. And there's also existing underlying grounds that are in that open field. So we are pushed to the edge of the property. We have already been to the Board of Adjustment requesting a variance for the height as well as the setbacks, which were approved. And we did get unanimous approval from the Planning and Zoning Board for the first part of our CUP. So at this time, I would ask for approval for interim CUP in order to build this tower, and I'm available for any questions you have.
I know you talked just a little bit, and I just noticed something in this one. They have two different pages for two different types of piers. Is it conditional on what type of soil they find?
They should have already run the soil tests and designed the foundation based on that, and provided that. So for that question, I would have to reach out directly to Ameren's engineering team and possibly even Sabre to find out which one.
It shows one of them sitting on a footing, and it shows the other one deeper in the ground and not sitting on a footing.
Understood.
And so I'm thinking that it is based on what they found.
It should be based on what they find, because I know that they did come out and run the soil tests, and that is how it should be designed.
Did they use bore samples for the?
I'm going to say they should have, but I cannot say yes, because I was not given those studies. I can request them, but they were not provided to me.
I don't believe they're gonna put up something that they want to fall.
No, normally they would come in and bore.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone in the public that wishes to speak on this matter? We still have 5 minutes left of the public hearing before we can close it.
Okay.
We're going to close the Board of Aldermen public hearing and call to order the St. Clair Board of Aldermen meeting. May I have roll call, please?
Alderman Beal.
Here.
Alderman Sands. Here. Mayor Stolberg.
Here.
Mayor Cozy.
Here.
Attorney Bond.
Here.
Alderman Sykes.
Here. Everybody join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first item on the agenda is the consent agenda. We have the council report September 30th, 2022 through October 13th, 2022. The Board of Aldermen meeting minutes, October 3rd, 2022. The Board of Aldermen special meeting minutes, October 11th, 2022. Third quarter Proposition P statement of accounts, and the September 2022 collector's report.
I have a question. I actually think that the third quarter Prop P balance statement is not accurate. I don't really know a lot about it, but it shows that we claimed 13 officers that worked full-time in that quarter, and then another 2 officers, which are new officers at the bottom, but that means that we charged for too many officers. So I'd like to reject that part and then ask that the police department review it and Administrator Stolberg review it and then submit it again. And with that thrown out, I will make a motion to accept the rest of the consent agenda.
So just to clarify, you're approving everything but item 4?
Correct, because I think that the number of officers on there is not accurate, which is going to throw all of the money values off.
Yes. And that is correct. It needs to be adjusted.
Okay. So yes, so I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda items 1, 2, 3, and 5, and request that item number 4 be reviewed by the PD and by Administrator Stolberg and be brought before us again at the next meeting.
I'll second that.
May I have roll call, please?
Alderman Sykes.
Aye.
Alderman Beal.
Aye.
Alderman Sands.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is the Merrimack Municipal Grant presentation.
Mayor and Council, thanks for your time. My name is Jeff Harp. I'm one of the loss control consultants with Myrna. Myrna is a self-insurance pool that the city's been a member of since 1986. We provide, we handle your claims for you, as well. We spend a lot of time, money, and effort on promoting the best practices in risk management. So we do that through our monthly newsletter. Our website has lots of information on it. We ask our members to conduct various facility inspections, fleet inspection, playground inspections. That list goes on and on. We have multiple reimbursement programs, and one program in particular is our grant program, the risk grant program. It was put together to help members offset the cost of equipment you've identified in each for that fits within our mission statement. And this past year, we received an application from the Public Works Department for funding on a flammable storage cabinet. The committee met and approved $1,000 to go towards that cabinet. It is a reimbursement program, so you got to buy the item first. I talked to Jason about that a while ago. You've got to June of next year to get that thing bought and turn in the paperwork for that. tonight, I'd like to let the council know you've got the money for that. I'd like to thank Jason and Dana for taking the time to fill out the application, doing the research needed to get this $1,000 effort to be used for that purpose. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Mr. Hart, thank you.
Dana's not here, but thank you again, Jason and Dana. Next on the agenda are ordinances and resolutions. First ordinance we have is bill number 2022-28, an ordinance authorizing the clerk to amend the 2022 revenues and appropriations. Administrator Stolberg, you care to explain this item, please?
This is budget adjustment number 1, and it is an adjustment to our budget showing the amounts increased and decreased in both revenue and expenditures in all of the different categories and funds. This was brought up at the last meeting and tabled so that the aldermen could have a better chance to look at it and to review it. And so we're here to discuss it now.
Okay, so after I reviewed it, I have 3 questions. First of all, in the prisoner expense line, it shows that we wanted to decrease that by $6,000. But I remember back in the summer when Lieutenant Burton had approached the board and asked for authorization to use that line item amount for a body cam grant. I asked him today if that has already been spent, and he said no. So if we pull that money out of that when that grant comes to be, and there's not going to be that money there that the board authorized them to spend on those body cams. So that was my first question, if we had, that we need to think about before we basically leave that line item at 0, because we've already authorized that $6,000 to be spent on that body cam grant. The other, go ahead.
That one, the original budget was for $12,000 on that, and it was reduced by $6,000. So that leaves $6,000 in the budget. I don't know if we've spent. I think we've spent
Okay.
some of it, but not.
Okay, and that might be, the paperwork I have in front of me doesn't tell me exactly what the current budget is or what the amount is. I just wanted to make sure we remembered that we had already authorized $6,000 expenditure out of that line item for body cams.
What was that line item?
It's actually, just a second, I have it here in front of me. I think I do.
If I can find it. There it is, prisoner expense. It was a $12,000. We've currently spent $500.
Okay, so there still is enough
There's
money in
still
there if we move
$5,500
$6,000.
left.